Dear JCI members from around the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and allow me to first of all wish you all a very happy new year. May 2022 bring you plenty of happiness, success, and most importantly, good health to you and your families on behalf of JCI World Headquarters staff from around the world. My name is Kevin Hinn, JCI Secretary General, and over the course of the next few minutes, I will be explaining to you how JCI World Headquarters has been missioned by our new president, Argenis Angulo, to put in place the 2022 Plan of Action, because leading is indeed our duty. So, as you know, JCI is moving in a new direction, but it's not really a new direction compared to what JCI was founded for. We're basically going back to basics, and with an annual theme that leading is our duty, focused around instilling responsibility and a sense of duty and purpose in enterprising young leaders, because essentially this is our goal and our duty, to develop enterprising young leaders for this ever-changing world. Ever since we moved away 2 years ago from a notion of promoting active citizenship and from the charity and humanitarian focus, essentially, let's make it very clear, JCI is a global leadership organization here to develop young leaders, and we're doing it through 4 types of actions aligned with the 4 areas of opportunity: projects, trainings, programs, and events in community impact, individual development, business and entrepreneurship, and international cooperation. Our goal is to create a holistic leadership development experience for our members, getting them coming in as leaders, but without knowing it yet, and developing and amplifying their skills over the course of time to become an enterprising young leader who masters all 4 areas of opportunity in equal measure, and is at the same time a global change maker, a global communicator, a global entrepreneur, and a global networker. This way, over the course of their JCI careers, over 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years, we can develop future government leaders, future business leaders who create global unicorns, and future civil society leaders who can then become vectors of positive change and sustainable change around the world, which we define and we quantify through economic growth and societal growth. Let me make it very clear. JCI is going back to basics, which means that we're not looking at closing ourselves down to non-entrepreneurs and only opening ourselves to business owners. An enterprising young leader can be a business owner, yes, but also a teacher, a lawyer, a community leader, basically anybody who has a go-getting international and open-minded mindset, who can innovate and seek solutions in all domains. And this is the kind of leader we are developing right now. And you can see, based on our current plan of action, the impact strategy is aligned with community, the motivate strategy aligned with individual development, the business strategy aligned with the impact strategy, the invest strategy aligned with business and entrepreneurship, the collaborate strategy is aligned with international cooperation, and all around the connect strategy is aligned with linking our global network thanks to the JCI virtual community. So let's dive in depth now a bit more on the plan of action. You can see that impact is all about the JCI Rise initiative and the duty that our members have to rebuild from a pandemic using projects that align with the 3 pillars of JCI Rise. Impact is part of a community area of opportunity, but let's make it clear. Community does not mean doing charity and humanitarian projects. We have lost thousands of members over the last 15 years since we started moving away from our roots and talking about community, humanitarian, and charity projects. So Again, JCI is a global youth leadership development organization, not a charity. So all projects linked to the community must be economically relevant, anchored in economic reality, so we can create global change makers. And again, we must align with a global JCI Rise initiative, which will really help rebuild and sustain and evolve away from a pandemic, so we can create global change makers and also work on promoting human duties in the future. The JCI Rise initiative, to be very clear, is composed of bottoms-up projects. It's not a top-down advocacy campaign piloted by JCI Global, but instead it's a grassroots bottoms-up campaign which is adapted to the specificities of each local organization. This involves projects in 3 pillars, which are either aligned with one or all 3 of these 3 pillars: sustaining and rebuilding economies, supporting small businesses to grow after the pandemic, workforce motivation, fighting youth unemployment through innovation, professional reconversion and educational opportunities like jobs in fintech, education technology, health technology, coding, STEM education for young women and robotics, the businesses and jobs of the future. It's also about developing entrepreneurship programs like Creative Young Entrepreneur, which developing at a global level. It's also about preserving mental health from an economic standpoint. Again, we're not looking at charity aspects of mental health or having charity hotlines. What we're looking at is promoting mental health to show employers that it's important to care about their employees. Otherwise, they're going to lose loads of money. Our goal for next year is to have each local organization promoting a real JCI Rise project. Again, a real JCI Rise project is aligned with the 3 pillars which I just outlined. It's not just taking your old charity and humanitarian projects and putting a JCI Rise logo on it, which means that we're going to be very strict in terms of the awards next year. Now let's move on to the next strategy, which is motivate. Developing a new mindset around responsibilities to properly promote high-level skills development. And indeed, our goal is to level up our skills development for this year. JCI skills development and the new training courses will not dumb things down to the lowest common denominator, but instead we need high-quality courses for top-quality members so that we can, because talent attracts talent, and we need to amplify and highlight the talent of our members and our global network of 150,000 enterprising leaders around the world. To do that, we must have a goal, which is to become a global benchmark of excellence for youth leadership training. And to do that, we're seeking to develop global communicators, but also global leaders through the new courses of global leadership masterclasses, which will be run, which are a series of video courses, pre-recorded videos, which you can watch anytime, any day. If you sign up, you'll have access to these for a year for $75 for members. And over the course of the next few months, we'll be opening to non-members as well. The idea is for non-members to discover JCI through one of these courses, such as Global Entrepreneur, and then to take a holistic and theoretical leadership approach with Global Networker, Global Communicator, and Global Changemaker, whilst at the same time joining a JCI local organization and following the whole learning by doing process, which we all love. This is an example of what one of the modules of a Global Entrepreneur Masterclass looks like. This is, it's all about soft skills training and storytelling. So we've got a series of 11 coaches for Global Entrepreneur who will be sharing their tips from around the world on how to become a global entrepreneur. Again, the unique selling point of this course is to show young people that you can become an entrepreneur, yes, but also to develop a global mindset immediately so that we can help develop global unicorns around the world and help them grow as well. So this is really the unique selling point, the scale up aspect, which can be incorporated into the initial business plan. So again, the aim of skills development is to reboost all of our current commercial offers and also to revamp the existing leadership courses like effective leadership, effective communications and project management to make them more aligned with the new messaging of JCI. So our goal is to have at least 1,000 registrations globally for Global Entrepreneur Masterclass by the end of the year and help promote these to non-members. As we are able to sell the initial English version, we'll be able to invest, once we reach a target of 500 registrations, in other languages too, in subtitles in other languages. So again, we need to be able to develop our sales before we invest in other languages. In terms of investing, it's all about membership growth and membership retention, and to develop the entrepreneurial aspect through the Creative Young Entrepreneur Program, which aims to create global unicorn businesses worth over $1 billion based on JCI's values and to create global entrepreneurs. You can see our strategy is using and investing in talent in order to grow. For growth and development, I'll talk about this later when we talk about the internal performance indicators. But of course, next year, we'll be developing the pilot edition, the very successful pilot we had for Creative Young Entrepreneur this year to be able to boost things in the future. The idea is to take startups which have just begun and to give them access to a Global Entrepreneur Masterclass. So the entrance price for CYE globally this year will be $100 US. And to provide education through the masterclass, which is worth $75, so it's a really good deal, and also mentoring and providing access to finance at the area conferences. And the finalists will go to a World Congress where we're looking at partnering with the World Business Angels Investment Forum and other angel investment organizations in order to be able to have investment in our global startups, which will help accelerate them in 2023 and help push them on their journey to become global unicorn businesses. So to do that, we need at least 50 participants minimum at each area conference. So feel free to promote this new program. A toolkit will be released in the first week of January. And we're also working on a toolkit for national organizations to build their own Creative Young Entrepreneur programs as well. Because entrepreneurship and innovation are at the heart of the enterprising young leader's mindset. In terms of collaboration, we're looking at developing our global partnerships and corporate partnerships, but also boosting area events by putting the I back in JCI and leveraging JCI's global network for local member growth. We want any member who joins a local organization anywhere around the world to realize, thanks to technology, that JCI is a global organization. This is the added value we can provide compared to other locally based organizations and our unique selling point. So we're looking at strengthening win-win partnerships to be able to benefit JCI first and foremost and highlight our brand, our members, and bring in money, but also looking at overseeing the return of in-person events and helping to add value to the members. Now, you're familiar with what we've been doing for the last 2 years, events which are online, which we've been able to develop on our own JCI virtual community platform. But we are hoping to have in-person events as well. You can see that in May and June right now, this is the current situation with our area conferences, and save the date for our wonderful World Congress in Hong Kong from the 31st of October to the 4th of November 2022. Finally, the Connect strategy isn't aligned with any of the 4 areas of opportunity because there's a kind of misalignment problem, 5 strategies, 4 areas. But it is all encompassing because we're seeking to use our JCI virtual community to link members all around the world and to add value. So we really want to work with all national presidents and local presidents to use the JCI virtual community to link members, share projects, information and tools all around the world, and to show any member who joins a local chapter, a local organization, that JCI is global, and you can maybe meet a twinning partner, future project synergies, but also future business partners, customers, suppliers, mentors, and investors, thanks to this virtual community. So we have a social network, which is going to be amplified in a couple of months using an Android and iOS mobile application as well. We've launched our Global Entrepreneur Masterclass on it on the 6th of December, and we're looking at enhancing JVC in the future to even be able to host paid or free national events and trainings by the end of next year. So we really hope that all of your members and all of your senators and alumni can be active on your platform, especially those of you joining from large countries. Now, that was the external view, to understand how you can pitch JCI to future members and future partners, but it's also important to have internal performance and success. And to do that, you as JCI leaders must really understand how to run your national and local organizations as if it was your own business. So because leading is our duty, and you can see the primary goals here are to focus on 3 key KPIs. Every single action undertaken at a local, national, or global level must be calibrated so that you can think in December 2022 and ask yourselves 3 questions. How will this action support JCI's brand awareness in my city or my country? How will it boost my membership growth and retention? For example, will this event bring me 10 or 15 or 20 new members at a local level? And finally, financial sustainability. How much money will it bring in? Don't forget that JCI is a non-profit organization, but it's also a non-loss organization. And there's nothing wrong with making surpluses. At JCI, when we talk about making surpluses, we're looking at getting partner revenue so that we can pump back this extra money into membership services, into more translations, more support for creative young entrepreneur, more high quality trainings. All this costs money, and this is what we're reinvesting from any money that comes from corporate partnerships. Same with you. You'll be able to maybe purchase event tickets and or masterclass tickets for your members on the ground and add value to being members. At a global level, we've got these 3 KPIs which all work together. By having consistent brand awareness and visibility and speaking with one global voice around the world, we can then attract high quality targeted members who are from high social economic profiles, whose leadership skills we can develop to be able to reach 200,000 members by 2025 compared to 150 now, especially by promoting our presence in large global cities. This is the key to development. If JCI isn't strong in any capital cities or large cities in your country, then JCI is not relevant. So this is where the deciders and the policymakers are located. So it's very important. So high quality members can therefore create high quality actions, which we can sell to corporate partnerships and also derive new revenue. And this money will lead to financial resources that can be pumped back into member services, brand awareness, enhancing the JCI virtual community. Now, the JCI virtual community is the key, is the glue that links these 3 KPIs together so that it can amplify added value to members, link to the global network, and therefore boost all 3 different target performance indicators as we move forward. In a little more detail, what's most important in terms of brand awareness and visibility is to highlight this new leadership direction of JCI and cut any ties you have with historical programs that are not yielding return on investment or brand value to your members on the ground, even if they're historical projects that have defined you. just don't be free to cut ties and cut the umbilical cord, because now it's time to move forward. And especially if you've been doing charity projects, look at your numbers, and I'm sure that you haven't been growing. So make sure that you can really have a shift in mindset and direction. It's important to follow JCI's new corporate identity guidelines with the colors, the direction. Essentially, this diagram is a perfect embodiment of how to explain JCI and the correct messaging and corporate identity guidelines. Please do not use these terms like peace as possible, advocacy campaigns, nothing but nets, or the Global Youth Empowerment Fund. These no longer exist. These were cancelled 2 years ago, and JCI no longer does top-down advocacy campaigns, because we believe it's not the global headquarters that must come up with new ideas, but it's the members on the ground, which is why we have bottoms-up JCI Rise projects focusing on economic growth and societal growth instead of these charity products. Again, the PowerPoint presentations, please do not use these ones. Please no longer refer to the active citizen framework. It was stopped a year ago. Instead, we have a JCI action framework, which is a solid project development methodology, and we have new slides. So please do not use these ones anymore. Now, in terms of membership growth and retention, this is like, once we've got our product, we need to sell it. So it's all about customer acquisition and customer loyalty. This is how we define membership growth and membership retention. Give them a strong value proposal. Focus on developing a strong JCI presence in your top country and largest capital city. Never mind competition. JCI has 106 years of history and legacy. So just make sure that you're proud of who we are and what our brand is, and look at ways of being better than the competition, full stop. And same with membership turnover in big cities. Look at having a blend of members who are properly established in the cities and others who come and go. That's why there's diversification in the membership base, and you don't rely on certain groups of people. Every single JCI local organization must represent the whole population of a city, its demographics, its diversity, its gender balance as well. So it's important to have targets. Imagine where you want to be at the end of 2025 and where you want to be nationally and locally at the end of 22, then come up with a strategy to develop this. You can see that last year, for the first time in 15 years, we actually grew at a global level by 4,000 members, 2.9%. And this is thanks to our new direction and our new messaging on enterprising leadership. And we hope to carry on this growth in 2022 and to grow by 33% by the end of 2025. This means that our target by the end of next year, 2022, is 6.6% growth and 160,000 members. So we really want each area and each national organization to focus on how to grow these 9,921 members. Don't forget, it's always important to have more vertical growth and horizontal growth. Have more concentration of members in a local chapter, in a local organization, rather than, it's better to have, take the example of some countries, 2,200 members in 21 local organizations. That's over 100 members per national organization, like in JCI Hong Kong, rather than having 2,000 members spread across 160 or 200 local organizations. That means 10 members per local organization on average. This is not sustainable. So really focus on big cities and on concentration instead of having everything thinly spread in a whole country. Finally, in terms of financial sustainability, again, it's important for a local organization to be sustainable, because this trickles up to national organizations and also to global organizations. Make sure your members pay their dues and that they're given a proper incentivization and motivation to pay by their dues with a proper value proposal. So target the surplus of every single project you want to make or every single action. If you're organizing the national convention, think about how much money you want to make, $5,000, $10,000, and how you're going to make it with a strategy. How many new members will you acquire? And then if you make those $10,000, how will you pump them back into the organization in 2023 to make your members feel special and add value? Target how institutional partners like the United Nations or the Chamber of Commerce will open doors to corporate sponsors that will help you. Cut unnecessary spending and follow the new financial management course, so that, especially for local presidents, so you can understand how to make money and how to have an expansionary revenue development strategy and income generation strategy as well. You can see that at JCI globally, we're working on everything as if it was run like a business. Again, a non-profit doesn't mean that we can't make surpluses, which are then invested in our members. So you've got a summary here of the goals of President Arhenis, 7 key goals, which you can see here, and you can see the 3 KPIs I incorporated: brand awareness and visibility, membership growth and retention, and financial sustainability through added value to our members. So I hope that this brief panorama will have given you an idea of how to sell JCI externally and how to run your local and national organizations inside for optimized performance and optimized results. Because I know we're all volunteers, but you don't want to be the local or national president under whose leadership your local organization, which has existed for 30 or 40 years, doesn't exist anymore by the end of 2022, because you haven't been a good leader and because you've been treating things without being serious enough and focusing on the wrong priorities like charity or humanitarian work, or just focusing on pretending you're Greenpeace. So this isn't how JCI works. Position JCI as a global leadership organization where we must be proud of our legacy and our brand. And this is our duty and your duties as local and national presidents in 2022 to succeed under the leadership of President Arhenis. Rest assured that JCI World Headquarters and me personally are all here to support you, help you, and make you feel special, as long as we follow this new direction to develop enterprising young leaders for this ever-changing world and achieve our goal, which is to become the foremost global network of enterprising young leaders. Thank you again, and I wish you an amazing year. All the best, and carry on in this new direction with lots of energy and momentum. And believe me, if we all work together, success is guaranteed and the best is yet to come. Thank you again.